I'm the orchestra director at Mike Williams Middle School and here at Cape Fear High School as well. And I'm looking forward to letting you see the progression from 6th grade all the way up through the high school. And I think you're in for a real treat. These groups work very, very hard. I would like to ask one favor of anybody. I see several of you with cameras of various sorts. If there's anybody that is videoing tonight and I could get a copy of that, I would appreciate that. You can just come see me afterwards and say, I did that, and I can we've worked that out. We had a video camera that has been misplaced, and we will track that down, but it's not available for tonight. So if you are so kind and would let me have a copy of that, so these students can see what they've done, and we can do our little evaluation of that, I would really appreciate that. All right, seated before you is the 6th grade orchestra at Mike Williams Middle School. And as you can see from the program, they're going to play 3 selections. After the second selection from this and from each group that you hear, we're going to make a few more presentations of various awards, certificates, that sort of thing. And then we'll play our third piece and make a little stage change. So just bear with us during those little transition moments, and we're going to move this thing along as quickly as we can. All right, I hope you enjoyed these first 2 from the 6th grade orchestra. Wakeford Circle first, and then String Explosion second. All right, and now I'd like to ask our principal, Ms. Hancock Richardson from over at McWilliams. She's going to read out their names, and as each student is recognized, just ask them to stand rather than try to make their way through all the maze of stuff on the stage. By all means, if that's your kid, feel free to let them know that you're proud of them. All right?
Okay, let me just take this opportunity to welcome you and thank you for coming tonight for our concert. We appreciate so much your dedication to not only your child but to our program at McWilliams Middle School. And a concert would not be any fun at all for these students if they did not have an audience. So we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be here tonight. And we appreciate this group of students very much. Didn't they do an outstanding job so far? I've had the opportunity to be around beginning orchestra programs over the past several years, and I'm extremely proud of this 6th grade group because I know by far they're the best that I've heard in a long time, probably the best ever. So they need to just keep up the good work. And when they get to high school, they're going to make an outstanding group here and make us very proud of them, even more so than today. And as we recognize these students, of course, we can't go without recognizing their leader. And I would like to personally thank Mr. White because he truly has a heart for developing the orchestra program here in our Cape Fear High School district. So we need to give him a round of applause. As I visited this afternoon in one of the evening orchestra classrooms, it was with the 8th grade students, I asked them to share with me anything that they would like to reveal about their orchestra teacher. And of course he began to get a little bit nervous. He said, "Now you are going to censor those, aren't you?" And I assured him that I would try to do my best. He has not seen these, or he can't say if they're truth or not. But I will share a couple of the things each time I come up that these 8th grade students have shared with me, who most of them have been with him at least 3 years, some of them longer, as he may have been their orchestra teacher at the elementary school. But Casey from over in the 8th grade class said, "He's the best orchestra teacher I've ever had. Granted, I've only had 2, but he's still the best." So I think that that's a good compliment. Now, for recognizing these wonderful 6th grade students here, we're going to first recognize Melissa Amy. Michael Blue. Farrah Bosworth. Audra Bullard. Benjamin Burrow. Ethan Creighton. Jordan Days. Connor Gaither. Nelson Grimes. Kristen Harris. Tyler Kirby. Zamaya Moore. Haley Neal. Elizabeth Osborne. Savannah Starlin. Cameron Stevens. Savannah Tapia. Cherokee Walters. Christopher Williams. And Nina Zettel.
All right, well, we have that final selection there in your program, Fancy Fiddles, and then we'll make a stage change and bring the 7th grade up. Hope you enjoy this last selection. This is the 7th grade orchestra from Mike Williams, and as you can see in the program there, we're going to play the first two. The first one's called Eclipsis, and they've really enjoyed that one. And then Classic Sinfonia, and after that we'll have a few presentations to make to them as well. All right, now we'll make our presentations to the 7th graders.
While Mr. White is getting ready to make some presentations, I have another little nugget to share with our audience about Mr. White. You know how sometimes people are just very impressionable upon you, and there's some things about certain people that you'll never forget. Well, I think this student has a lasting impression in her mind about Mr. White. She says that he's the only person that she knows shows up on a Saturday morning, I don't know, about 8 or 9 o'clock for a state orchestra audition, where all the other orchestra teachers are there in blue jeans and maybe flip-flops, but Mr. White is fully dressed in that suit with tie, necktie and shirt. But she said, I've never seen him when he didn't have his tie on. And this is one of the comments from none other than Maddie Vonnegut. So he's made an impression on her. I think sometimes this generation really has lost sight of, you know, dress attire sometimes. So this is a wonderful impression to make. Well, not as old as I am, but you're getting there. Okay, now to recognize this wonderful group that's behind me at this point, and we're very proud of our 7th grade orchestra students. A little less in number than 6th grade, so we definitely need this group to hang in there with us. We don't need to lose any of these students as they move into the 8th grade next year, maybe even recruit a couple others. Maybe we'll be lucky and get some new students come in to join them. But at this time, we're going to first recognize Christopher Branson. And then Francesca Caballero. I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but forgive me if I didn't. Emily Davidson. Anastasia Hadson. Jenna Humphreys. Andrew James. Matthew Malone. Elizabeth Miller. Damon Moon. Paul Smith. Alexander Walden. And Jordan Weaver. And let's give the entire group another big hand.
All right, this final piece, as you would sort of expect from the title, entitled Bowtown Blues, is indeed a little swing piece. So I hope you enjoy this swing tune as we close out the 7th grade portion of the program. from over at Mac Williams. I'd like to say just a couple of words about them. Obviously, they're the rising freshman class, and I think just about everybody on stage, except for a couple of students who are moving, are going to be coming over to the high school next year. So I'm really excited about having a larger than what has been happening freshman class coming up. And as you can hear, they're doing a very, very good job. These first two pieces that you're going to hear, those of you who are 8th grade parents are aware of this. We took a little trip in March up to Raleigh and went to a little contest festival in Raleigh. As far back as I could track it, to the opening of Mac Williams, no one had ever taken a strings group to this particular event or anything of the sort, so it was sort of a history-making event for these students. They did very well. They did not get the top score that was possible. They did get to the highest score, and to have never done anything of the sort, I was very, very pleased with them. We got feedback from judges on some things we could improve and some things that we were doing well. And so the first two pieces that you're going to hear are those two pieces that we played. And again, didn't get the very top score, but the next to the top score. And so I'm very proud of them. So, without any further ado, we have Aaron Caprice and then Sonata Vivant. eighth graders.
This is my last opportunity to share. So Caitlin Norris shared with us Mr. White's famous quote, "I must be butter because I'm on a roll." Only they would understand that. Okay. One last one. I've been in the orchestra program for 4 years and never had a more inspirational teacher than Mr. White. He's pushed me to become the violinist I am today. But to let everyone know, Mr. White would not be Mr. White without a tie. That is from Amanda Thomas. And this 8th grade group, didn't they sound wonderful? Outstanding. And as I look over the group of young people here, you know, it's also important for you to understand that this is some of Mac Williams' top students as well. You know, it's not anything, it's not a secret that this kind of student goes hand in hand with your best students academically as well. So they're to be commended. They do an outstanding job in many areas, I'm sure that we don't even know about, but in other areas other than the orchestra program. But as we recognize each of them, you have parents that are here with them. You've got a lot to be proud of. Our first student is Joe Blackman. Ryan Cassidy. Casey Clark. Kenny Helgett. Dustin Ivy. Alex Martinez. Amanda Nesson. Caitlin Norris. Deshante Perry. Victoria Smith. Sierra Snyder. Amanda Thomas. Timothy Tucker. Madeline Vonnegut. And Jessica Wright. And I would like to take the last opportunity to thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Once again, the 8th grade orchestra.
And this is sort of a ragtime piece, as you would imagine, from the title Tangerine Rag. Hope you enjoy this final selection from the 8th grade orchestra before our high school comes. All right, this is our high school group here this year at Cape Fear High School, and I've explained this to the high school parents at our very first concert back in October. But for the rest of you, this looks on the small side, granted. When I first arrived, we had a good number of, this was about 3 years ago when I arrived, we had a good number of juniors and seniors, and they did what good juniors and seniors are supposed to do. They graduated. That's a good thing. There were not, however, an awful lot of people kind of in the middle, grades 7, 8, 9, 10. That year, or that sort of bubble, if you want to call it that, is now here. So all those juniors and seniors that were here, that's good, they're gone. They need to graduate, that's right and appropriate. And one day, all of these will too. That's also good and right and appropriate. However, this year, we kind of had a one-year bubble, like I said, of sort of all of the middle, where there weren't that many students to replace those graduating students. There weren't that many kind of coming up. But you can see over here at the middle school, that's taken care of. So starting next year, we'll jump this back up, kind of where it's supposed to be. So anyway, that has not diminished the hard work they've done and the quality of what you're going to hear. This first piece, as you see, it's the first movement of the piece. It's called Jig, is the first movement. Now this is a really interesting thing, and I'd like for you to listen for something specific. This is just wickedly difficult to do, and they're doing a good job of it. There's sort of this feel going on back and forth, and they sort of take turns straight back and forth. There's a feel of 2 beats going against 3 beats, all in the same amount of time. And it's like I said, it's just terribly difficult to do, but they're doing it. So I just kind of like to give you a little something to listen to. It's not wrong. It's actually what's supposed to happen. So I hope you enjoy this first piece. this next piece needs just a little bit of explanation as well, but not much. You see the title is called March at the Mouse Battalion. So there's two things you need to sort of recognize about this. It should sound like a march, and it does. And it's like marching mice. So what do mice do? They squeak, right? So we're going to use our instruments to sort of create squeaks, like little mice, I guess, cheering whatever mice would cheer. But anyway, those are also on purpose, so I hope you enjoy. I think it's a really neat little piece. March of the Mouse Battalion. These students actually step forward to get this. I have a few things for the high schoolers as well. The middle schoolers get certificates, and the high schoolers get, well, I don't know, various little things. I know the 10th graders get a keychain, that's for obvious reasons. But anyway, just like some of you are happy about that than others, okay? So anyway, I'd like to ask these students to step forward. These are our freshmen, and so here are our 9th graders. Quentin Phillips. Kristen Rogier. Douglas Turner. And Jeremy Cole. Now for our 10th graders, Michael Mugrange, Christopher Lynch, and James Hales. And our 2 seniors, Jared Revels, and Joshua Bryant. All right, and just a few more. Let's see, there it is, okay. Michael Mugrange, if you would step forward. I have a couple of awards for him as well. Let's see, this is, yep. He auditioned and made the Cumberland County Youth Orchestra, which some of you have heard them. They auditioned. in September, and then they meet once a week. Yes, once a week from October until the end of April. This is just within Cumberland County, but everyone's had to audition. So he was in that this year, so he deserves a round of applause for that. And as if that wasn't enough, he also auditioned for the Cumberland County All-County Orchestra, which is a similar type thing, but instead of meeting once a week for most of the year, this is kind of a one weekend deal, also audition, so he made that as well. And I'm going to ask these two young ladies who are in the middle school to step forward for these little extra things as well. The Cumberland County Youth Orchestra I just explained, that's high school students. There also is a middle school youth orchestra. They don't go quite as long during the year, but they audition in, when is it, January? I think it's January, and then meet from once a week from January, like at the end of January until the end of April also. So if Madeline and Savannah, if you come forward, Madeline Vonnegut and Savannah Stein. So anyway, it's always exciting. Yeah, that's good. All right. So anyway, it's always exciting to see students in whatever the subject to go above and beyond. And these students, they did that, so they certainly deserve a recognition. All right, we have one more piece for the high school to play, and then we're going to have everybody come back up and play our finale there. This is a little fiddle tune. I think it'll be an enjoyable way to close out the high school portion of the program. Hope you enjoy this Fiddler's Dream. This will be a real treat. Obviously, we haven't rehearsed this all together because this is the first time we've been all in one place, but this will be fun. All right, just sort of like we talked about, just gather around. And while they're making their way up, as I announced at the beginning, if any of you have videotaped this and I can get a copy of that, make sure that you see me afterwards. I have to go unlock a door, and then I'll be right back here, so just come up and see me.
I can have it for him tomorrow.
All right, this is your entire combined orchestra program from grade 6 all the way through 12.